So sin doesn't appear overnight. It starts with a compromise. I made a series about guarding our hearts and talking a lot about this. You should go check that out. Guarding our eyes, guarding our ears, guarding our thoughts. That'll give us the best chance to not be tempted. But the danger here is what we allow this sin to become, what we do after the sin. So, the first compromise changes the battle. We're no longer saying no to that cookie, but we're saying no to the next cookie. And last night, apparently, my family is Gordon Ramsay, the baker version, and they make like 24 cookies. As I'm like deep into the cut right now, I'm so hungry, and all I want to do is eat. And I come home, and there's 24 cookies on the counter, just sitting there. It would have been so much easier to say no to a cookie than to say no to the next cookie, because once I ate that first cookie, I was like, wow, this cookie is good. You know what I'm saying? So then I ate another cookie, and then I stopped. I ate two cookies, but then a couple hours later, I went downstairs for some water, and the cookies were still there, so I ate two more cookies. So, would have been easier to just say no to that first cookie for me. But that's the point that I'm trying to make here, is that first compromise often makes the next compromise a lot easier. It's a lot easier to say no the first time than it is the second time. But if we look at this spiritually, basically the same thing is happening. When we give in, we're not just dealing with the sin and the action that we're doing, we're also strengthening the desire. The desire before we say yes is like this. When we say yes, it grows, and the desire for another one is bigger. That's the way I see it. That's the way that it is. And if we look at Romans chapter 6, verse 16, he tells us a little bit of this, and he says, "Don't you know that when you offer yourselves to someone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one you obey, whether you are slaves to sin, which leads to death, or to obedience, which leads to righteousness." He's saying that we have two options that we can obey. We can obey sin and be a slave to sin, which is leading us to death, or we can be a slave to obedience, which leads to righteousness. He's telling us here that what we repeatedly submit to over and over again, that is what's influencing us. And he's telling us that every decision and every choice that we're making is shaping us into something, whether that's for the good or for the bad.